Initializing Ethereum protocol. Establishing link to Cloud Citadel. Welcome, Alita Army. You stand at the threshold of quantum consciousness.
Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of October the 31st, 2025, Halloween. Mars Chronicles, Chapter 22, Confession of a Maggot, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and with me is Lee, and he's from Fountain, Colorado. How's it going, Lee?
Oh, going pretty good so far.
Cool. Well, I did it again, Lee. Here we go. There it is. Yeah. So anyway, I see we got Badman out there. We got Leonardo out there. We got Claudio out there. And we got several other people that don't want to be in the chat, but that's cool. That don't want to communicate in the chat. So, but that's fine, you know.
Oh, I spent years as a lurker on a lot of chats.
Yeah, that's right. That's all right. You know, we welcome everybody, whether they want to, you know, chat or not, you know, as long as they're having fun. That's the biggest thing that we care about. So anyway, so how are things down there in Fountain?
Oh, pretty much the same. It's a small town, not a whole lot going on. So,
Yeah, it's pretty much the same here too, even though, you know, I guess Denver, Colorado is a lot bigger than Fountain is, but yeah. And actually, I don't live in Denver. I live in Littleton, which is a part of the metro area. But you know, it's kind of
where I on the outskirts, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You know, in the metro area. I mean, it's definitely not. It's suburbs, is what it is. You know,
okay.
And kind of live in a nice neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it's nice. So anyway, you're all moving now, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, with your girlfriend. Yeah, that's cool. So, yeah, that's a kind of a neat thing. Got rid of that old place, I guess, too. Huh?
Yeah, it was affordable, far more affordable than some of the other places around here. But unfortunately, even that was just more than what I could manage. So.
Yeah, cool. Well, too bad. Anyway, well, yeah, at least you're where you want to be now. So that's a good.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to say como esta to Leonardo and Claudio. You know, they're good Alita Army members, and we, you know, basically welcome them to the stream as well. And certainly Badman. Badman is the professor of the Alita Army. You know how Maxie is the Pope? Well, Badman is the professor. So, you know, yes. And I see we got AKA out there as well, you know. So, you know, welcome aboard, guys. And I guess if you look way back up in the chat, you'll see that I put a link there. If you want to come on with us, you know, we're going to read the manga, you know, but if you want to come on and participate with us, you know, you're certainly welcome to do so. Guess who just joined us from down under? It's
hey Maxie.
Revolutionary Maxie. How's it going, Maxie, from just north of Sydney?
Oh, well, it's raining, which is annoying because I want to clean the yard, but everything's wet.
Oh my God, I got to do that. I got this tree out in the front yard and there's leaves all over the place. I might have to get the leaf blower out there and do something about it.
You've only got one tree.
Well, no, I've got a couple of trees in the backyard as well. You know, I guess my second wife used to say this house was on a postage stamp. So, you know, it was because it is a small, you know, in suburbia, it's kind of small, you know, and she was used to living out in the, you know, in the rural area, you know, where you have a lot of property, you know, so, but yeah, that's, the leaves are coming down. So I guess I might have to get them up before the homeowners association gets on me. So, you know, we don't want that to happen. So. All right. Well, how are things down there in Sydney, Australia? There, Maxie.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's raining, so I can't do the yard cleaning that I want to do. So
You want to do yard cleaning?
yes, I want to clean it up.
Okay.
It's bugging me. And every time I want to clean it up, it decides to rain. So
Yeah.
I'd like it to stop raining just for a little bit.
Well, you guys did trick or treat yesterday, didn't you, Maxie?
Yeah, well, that was yesterday. We were gonna go do a bit of trick or treating, but my son got hit in the hand by basketball in the morning, and bent his nails back, and his nail bed was quite painful.
Man.
He passed on it. He said, I don't want to, Dad. And he's like 12 going on 13, and it's starting to be a bit annoying for him. So
yeah,
it pushed him over the edge. So we didn't actually go. But it was my 15th wedding anniversary yesterday. So
you got married on Halloween?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty cool.
Well, 15 years ago in Australia, Halloween wasn't a thing.
Oh, is that right?
Really?
Oh, okay.
But it is now. It's become a thing. So
How recently did it become a thing?
maybe 4 years ago.
Wow,
5
so it's
years
really
ago.
new over there then.
Yeah. I mean, we knew about it, but nobody bothered celebrating it. But
Well, I guess us Americans must have corrupted y'all then.
you did. Yeah. Well, it's the lollies. The kids want the lollies. And there's a bunch of people who just like messing around, filling their yard up with plastic crap. So
Yeah.
there's this one house there. It's about a minute's drive away from where we are, and it's got this giant skeleton coming out of the roof of the house. Like, you know, the head's the size of a dining table. It's
Jesus.
it's amazing. And they've got all sorts of other stuff in the yard. They go all out in Christmas time as well. So
Oh yeah.
in a few days they'll start packing that all down, and they'll set up the giant blow up reindeer and all the other shit that they've got for Christmas.
Yeah, people around here where I live, they put decorations up outside even, you know, now. I mean, there's a bunch of people who got Halloween decorations. Some guys got some giant spiders. Kind of reminds me of Australia sometimes. I got these giant big old black spiders on a web, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we may as well get on with it. So first of all, we want to remind everyone that we are still got the fundraiser going on for the LA fire victims. And, you know, we've raised $1,600 there. And, you know, I've sent the money to the Greater Good charity already. And, you know, we want to help these folks because when I was in LA here about 3 weeks ago, they were still, now it wasn't not where I was, you know, I mean, where I was in Culver City, so they didn't really get any, you know, any damage there. But, you know, in the Pacific Palisades community, I guess they really took it a pretty heavy hit, you know, and I think something like 68 homes were either destroyed or damaged, you know, by the fire. And they're still in the midst of recovery of that thing. So, you know, we decided to do this GoFundMe, you know, to help them. Now, we haven't raised a whole bunch of money, but the way I see it, you know, every little bit helps, you know, so they, and we picked this one because they also, they take care of the animals, you know, and that was the deciding factor, you know, for us that made a decision to do this. So to pick this particular charity, the Greater Good charity. But anyway, there's the link below the image on your screen there. That link is also down in the description, so you can click on it. And no amount is too small. So, you know, just click on the link. It'll take you to the website. Then, of course, you can you sign. You can donate any amount. You don't sign anything. You just you do give them either your name or your internet handle, or you can elect to remain anonymous. So, you know, for me, you know, I went ahead and put my name in. So does Angelus. You know, now Lee, when he put some money in there, he you know, he used anonymous, which is fine. And well, Lee, that's not your real name anyway, but you know, that's cool. And Vladi used his actual internet handle, you know, so because it's understandable people don't want their name out into the internet, you know. So if you have a little extra money, we sure would love for you to, you know, if you can spare some, please give to this particular GoFundMe, and then we'll put that into greater good charity.
Yeah, Gary, that'd be nice.
So anyway, you know, we want to help these folks out. So, and we had a really successful week last week on the Alita sequel petition. We added 29 signatures, you know, so yeah, that's pretty cool, you know. So we got that thing going too. And there's the link below the image on the screen, and that link is also down in the description. So you click on it, takes you to the website. You enter your name and email. Now you can specify this to be anonymous, because what'll happen when you enter your name and email, you'll see a list of everyone that is signed, but there'll be a lot of folks that have used their internet handle, and there'll be folks that are chose to remain anonymous. And you know, you'll see the list, but if you choose anonymous, it won't list your name or your email address. And even if you do use your name, it's not going to put your email address there as well, you know. So if you want to donate to this, you can certainly do that as well. You can, but it's not a requirement. You just sign the petition. You've done your job as an Alita Army member. But yeah, that's we had a successful week this week in the sequel petition. So we want to keep this thing going. You know, keep reminding Disney we want that sequel, and not only that, we want a trilogy of trilogies. We want to keep Rosa busy. That's what we want to do. We want her to, you know, be playing Alita for the rest of her life. So you know, and I think she wants to do that as well. At least that I think she does. Anyway. And we do have the bust of the Alita bust for her. You know, whenever she's ready for it, you know, we will get this thing to her, and it's still in the box, hasn't been opened. And you know, I suspect she'll be ready for it when they green light the sequel. And you know, we will get that thing down there to her in LA any way she wants. I mean, if she tells me to come to bring it, I'll put that thing in my car and drive it down there. It's 1,100 miles, but I don't mind doing it, you know, because this is our expression from the Alita Army of our appreciation, admiration, and affection for our queen, because we are really fortunate that she was selected to play Alita. And, you know, Rosa is Alita and Alita is Rosa. So, you know, we really want her to have this. We also got the Alita Gaming Network going on, and I didn't check that thing this week. I mean, I logged into it. I was really busy this week teaching a class over Zoom, and didn't get too much of a chance to get on social media. But if you do live streams, certainly, you know, you can put the link to the live stream in there in the live streams channel. If you do fanfics, you know, I know Lee and Maxie got both of their fanfics, you know, in the fan fiction channel. Panini Freak has got a short in their channel. Does not exist. She has a lot of shorts in there. Even the Creek has got a short in there, you know. So it's new content. Granted, it's not canon, but still it's pretty good content. So, you know, particularly Lee and Maxie's, they're, you know, what they've put together is really great, you know. And that, matter of fact, so great that I guess next week, Maxie, you and I and Angelus are probably going to do a recording, right? Or you're reading chapters, I guess, from your fanfic and on Radio Chaos.
Oh yeah, it's that time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And here in about a couple of 2 or 3 weeks or so, we'll probably get Lee back on here and get him to read a couple more chapters of his fanfic, you know, because it's really enjoyable, you know, to see these stories of Alita. Even if it isn't canon, it's still kind of neat. You know, we love it.
And we should announce for those who are trying to stay up to date with Lee's story that a new chapter has released.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I just posted it today.
Yep. Chapter 30. I think.
But I've already read it like twice.
Well, last week I did finally get to chapter 25, or what is it, Lee? Chapter 25 or file 26 or whatever it is. I can't
Whichever one. Yeah, that's the problem with fanfiction.net. It's got the 2 different numbering systems on there for the files and the chapters. So it's
I read it's one of the short chapters you had. There was that one.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's the one with Nova in it. The second one with Nova.
Yeah, that's the second one with Nova. That's right. So, because I remember I put some feedback in there or something to the effect that Nova's a bastard or something like that. So
still a bastard.
Yeah, he still is. Yeah. So,
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yes. So anyway, but we enjoy reading those things, man. That's they're great. And if you do any kind of artwork or you do videos or something, you can upload that to the user creations channel. If you do something that's maybe not Alita related, or maybe you feel like it's just very loosely Alita related, then you can put that in the off topic channel. We got 3 voice channels, and anyone can get on that voice channel. You don't need my permission. You don't need Matu's permission. You just get in there. Now, sometimes you might get in there and somebody might be in there, and that's okay. You can go to the next channel, but you certainly don't have to schedule anything. You just jump in there, And then we do have a watch party, kind of 2 channels for that. The text channel you see there is where we let everyone know, hey, we're doing a watch party, so the folks that are online can join us if they want, and then, of course, we do have the actual watch party channel. The last watch party I did was on September the 9th, on Alita Day, and we watched Alita Battle Angel, and we had fun doing that. And we've watched some other stuff. We've watched, Rosa's Star Trek short. We watched that, The Trouble with Edward, which is kind of neat. And we watched Good Crazy, and we've watched Chariot. I didn't like the way Chariot ended, but it was still a good movie. So, it's I'm not going to spoil the ending, but we've also watched a couple of things that are just maybe kind of similar to Alita, like, for instance, we watched Ghost in the Shell. We watched the movie with Scarlett Johansson, and we've also watched one of the episodes of Ghost in the Shell, and that was a lot of fun. And we even watched Rollerball one night, doing that. So because it's kind of similar to Motorball in some regards, and how it's not, Rollerball is not played by cyborgs, like Motorball is. It's humans, but I guess it might have been maybe an inspiration for Motorball in Alita Battle Angel or something. I don't know, But anyway, there's the link you see below our Chibi Alita mascot there. And she looks ferocious, doesn't she? So, and cute at the same time. But anyway, you click on that link. If you don't have a Discord username, they'll prompt you for one. But if you get the basic service, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. And then once you click on the link, you get a Discord username. You'll get an invite, to join the network. And that is also free. You don't have to pay. Nobody in the Alita Army amongst us in the core group or the company, we don't make money on this. This is a labor of love for all of us, because we want that sequel. We want to keep Alita current, and we certainly want to support our Queen Rosie, because, we want that sequel, damn it. So give it to us, Disney. Okay. So here we are. So this is chapter 22 of the Mars Chronicles, and this is where I think what's his name, Baron Muster. I think this is kind of like I wouldn't call it a flashback, because I mean the way the Mars Chronicles is organized, it kind of jumps around, from it. There's no sequential time frame, for this, so it kind of jumps back and forth, but I believe this is where he's a younger man, and he starts developing these face tumors, I guess, that Baron Muster has. That's actually it's basically killing him, isn't it, Maxie? I guess so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you get enough of them, it'll stop your body from working correctly. So I guess so.
Yeah, I think it takes resources from the body, so
Yeah, each one adds to the strain on the body system, so eventually it'll start to malfunction.
yeah, for sure. So it's very much like cancer, I guess, and it's I tell you, Kashiro really has a vivid and how would you say, a very unique imagination,
Yep.
So are you eating something, Lee? What's going on there?
That's not me. I thought that might be you, or maybe it's Maxie.
No, it's me. Sorry.
Ah,
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I was just wondering because I knew it wasn't me, and if it's not Lee, then that kind of narrows it down, doesn't
yeah.
it? All right, well, let's get into it, I guess, where we can, kind of watch it. And this is where we are with this thing. So, it's kind of a new volume too, by the way. This is the beginning of volume 5. I forget how many volumes there are, like 11, I think, something like that. And, chapter 22 is the first chapter of volume 5. And of course, here we got the beginning here. We got Alita as a little girl, and then of course that's her as an adult in the background there. And then of course, there's got some graphics up front, for this stuff. So this is kind of like cover, I guess. And then here's some of the, I guess table of contents basically. And that brings us to this log 22, Confession of a Maggot. And so you see this man, a younger man there. He says, "So my sister Nolan is safe now?" He's asking the question. "I have a report that she's still alive and her condition is stable. I'm so glad," because he looks like he's relieved. And of course, the person, I guess, that maybe is interviewing him, it says, "Based on your statements, the incident at Merle," and I'm going to mispronounce this, but I'm going to say Hota, because I think the J is pronounced like an H, ruins was penetrated entirely by Johann Wald, and the rest of you were innocent victims. Do I have that correct?" So that's that. I guess that's that. It was not, I don't know if it was the last chapter or the one before that. If you remember, they found, where the vault was because the eagle's beak or something like that was pointing to the entrance because it was hidden, except at very specific time of year where the sun, the angle, of the sun with where this, I guess it was some kind of natural looking, thing that forms an eagle or something like that in a shadow points to the entrance, and they were there at the right time, and then they found the entrance and walked right in it. So they'd gone in there, and of course Muster at this point in time I think he killed the professor that was helping him decode I guess where some of the writing or something, the document that was supposedly telling them where this chamber was. And then of course he's this guy is, I believe this is Muster as a younger man, but he kind of eyeballs the interviewer and he says, "No, that's not true. Johann saved our lives. If it weren't for him, we would all be dead right now." And so I guess the interviewer is just kind of observing him or something. And he said, "Well, this is a problem, the tall Sonnen, because if the drifter Johann Wald was behind it all, everything can wrap up smoothly. But we didn't do anything," this individual says, And so finally you see some woman, this looks like somebody is visiting somebody in prison, I guess. And a female visiting this prisoner. And he said, "When will you let me go? The charges against me should have been cleared." And I don't know who this person is. And I guess, Bad Man, if you're out there, who's that female there? I'm not sure who that is. Anyway, she says, "I understand that you said something very foolish, that the culprit was not Johann, but Our Lady." And then he says, "I didn't say that. In any case, I want to confirm something with you. Johann took the book and the cane, yes? And then he kind of, says, yeah, correct, he did. So remember, there was that cane. I think Muster uses that later on too, or he's retaining it. That cane actually has the head of an eagle on it as well.
Wasn't that cane part of the access to the tomb?
Yeah, it was like a key, I think, is basically what it was. Yeah. So anyway, she says, I see. That's all I need. You are being quarantined here. And I'm pronouncing that ant or whatever. No, wait, will I be released? And then, of course, she looks back at him and says, there's a possibility that when your expedition team entered the ruins, you were exposed to an unknown pathogen. Now it's starting to make sense of why maybe he's got these tumors on him,
Mm-hmm.
Are you experiencing any physical anomalies? And he's kind of sweating it out a little bit. And he says, what? A pathogen? No one told me anything about this. I'm perfectly fine, I swear. Of course, now he's sweating because if you remember from that episode.
Well, there was a previous panel, too. He was itching at his shoulder, too.
Yeah, he was itching at his shoulder. But in that previous episode, or one previous that we had read, when they opened this, I guess it was a large stone that was on top of an air, what looked to be like a sarcophagus or something like this. There was some gas that came out of it when they opened it, And Badman says this is Policilla Porwit, the personal handmaiden of Lady Kagura, I guess.
Kagura.
I hope I got that right, Badman. So
yeah, I think it's Lady Kagura.
Kagura, yeah. Anyway, and this is what he thinks. My confinement dragged on. Is anyone out there? At least let me see my father or sister. And then, of course, I guess he's just pounding against the wall or something. He says, you're locking up a young man with talent and ambition for no good reason. This is a great loss for humanity. Well, he has a high opinion of himself, doesn't he?
Just a bit.
Yeah. If I only had a pen and paper, at the very least, they say the Marquis de Sade did most of his writing in prison. Now, I don't know if you know who the Marquis de Sade is, but he's how would you say this, Maxie? He was kind of a controversial character, wasn't he, in history?
He was
very interesting tastes in relationships with young ladies, I guess. But anyway, he said did his writing in prison. He said, I could write a masterpiece that shocks the world too, So yeah, he's got a high opinion of himself, I think. I won't give in, Johann, my friend. So don't you dare quit either. And then he scratches back again. Oh, it itches. So yeah, I guess those
those tumors are forming.
Yeah, the beginning of those tumors are starting to, form on his back, I guess. And then he pulls his shirt up and he's, and he sees what looks like an eyeball on his back, and he says, an eyeball? Johann, my friend, I take back what I just said. I might be done for. And then, of course, he thinks I began to suspect I was going insane. So, no, you're not going insane, bub. You are actually a sickly individual. So then, of course, he's kind of still recounting this. With each passing day, the growths look more and more like faces. Like I say, Kishiro has a really wild imagination, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
My body was steadily transforming into something mysterious, something wrong. It filled me with an inescapable gnawing dread. So, I guess it's kind of like when you're sick. When you get sick, you don't, if you get the flu or something, I guess you're not worried about whether or not you're going to die, but I suppose as you start approaching the end of your life, you probably have this kind of a feeling like this guy has, which happens to be Muster as a young man. Okay. Badman says the Marquis de Sade is a character from Assassin's Creed Unity. I think he's an actual individual too in history, Badman.
He was, yes.
Yeah, I don't know much about him except his extraordinary taste.
Yeah, he was a French
a
writer and political activist.
Yeah, he was.
Who got locked away for a long time.
He did.
I think he was the basis for The Man in the Iron Mask, the story.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. The one that Leo DiCaprio was in, wasn't it? Yeah, that movie. Yeah.
Most recently, yes.
Yeah.
According to this, he was imprisoned for some pretty good reasons too.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay. Badman says I've never had that happen when I was gotten sick. Yeah. You don't.
Well, the flu doesn't typically cause faces to grow in your body.
Well, that's true. That is very true. So anyway, moving on. He says, help me. The faces on my back are mocking me. Now his brain's starting to go on him. I guess his mind is freaking him out or something, or he's freaking himself out. Then he's still recounting this. Eventually, my guards learned about the gross, and I was transferred. And then, of course, he was transferred to an operating room where to have surgery. I guess they were going to try to take these gross off of him. They would surgically remove the gross from my flesh. I was saved at last, I thought. So anyway, I guess they did take him in there, and they thought it would be just as easy peasy, fix this whole situation by taking these growths off of him, And then I guess he's dreaming here. He says, Father, so it happened to everyone, And I guess that is his father over there, the guy with the beard. And he says, Ital, you too? I'm worried about Nolan. So am I, So I mean, they're all three of them are, and I guess even Erica was in there with them too as well. Although I don't think she inhaled the dust. So I mean, just the adults, I guess, were really close to that sarcophagus-looking thing. I mean, they when that dust escaped, they probably inhaled it and they got infected from that, I guess. I'm really going to butcher this name. I am Dr. Jima Neubauer. I got the Neubauer right anyway. I'm the chief at this laboratory. Wow, your affected regions are regrowing at incredible speed. It's already forming eyeballs. So, yeah, they, I guess, they took off these growths, but they just come back, So, I mean, it's, I guess it would be kind of like cancer, I guess. If you got cancer and you just remove the tumor, if you don't take any precautions after that, it'll just grow back, So I think that's what's happened here. And then
I was just going to make a note that doctor's got some freaky looking eyes.
Yeah, he does. Kind of reminiscent of Nova, isn't it, with his glasses? So he's not wearing glasses.
I think everybody in that room has freaky looking eyes. It's just that some are on the face and some are other places.
Yeah, some are on the back. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, he says, remove the growths, doctor. And he said, this is an amazing medical condition. I've decided to call it mastoma. Wow, masks. Yes. What could the cause be? Is it contagious? How to cure it? He's just, I guess, going through this in his mind. I'll let your tumors grow. Oh, well, that's nice. I'll let your tumors grow and test other potential measures on them. And then he said, but why? I mean, he just wants to get rid of them. This guy does. And of course, wow, he really looks, that's really gross looking, actually. And then, of course, he's recounting this again. He said, I thought they were going to save me. I was wrong. He's the only surviving member of the expedition who hasn't developed the mastomas. And then, of course, the fellow with the beard there, is that his father, Maxie? He said father, or did he just mistake him for his father? I don't know.
One possibility is that the guy is a Catholic priest, which might be why he was referring
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
that's right. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Pardon
Yeah,
me.
you beat me by like half a second there,
Oh,
Lise.
well.
I
Well,
Well,
was
it
about
seemed
to
like a
suggest
pretty obvious conclusion. So,
yeah, yeah.
well,
I
I'm,
think so.
I guess I didn't think of it because I'm not all that religious. So,
yeah.
so anyway, but anyway, he says, that's Michael. He was working at the back of the tent that day. I've received a substance from the ruin that is believed to be the cause of this. It's an unknown particulate powder that was sealed in the treasure chest. So that's where they were opening that sarcophagus treasure chest looking thing, and this gas, with these particulate particles in there. Particulate particles. That's interesting. It came out of the powder, came out of there, and they inhaled it, I guess. Let's expose him to it and see what happens. Oh, how nice. Let's experiment with these humans here and see if we can infect them with a deadly disease. So, now that is really gross. Okay, so they intentionally gave the mastomas to Michael. And of course, he is he looks like something out of a horror show, doesn't he? Then they dissected and preserved him as samples. How nice. These people they really have a high opinion of human life, don't they?
Yeah.
I've learned so many things from this. So the doctor, he doesn't really give a shit about, the people. He just, wow, this is for knowledge. I'm into this stuff. I don't care about the people.
Yep.
The particulate matter has a rainbow structural coloration. And it says down there I can hardly read that. Structural coloration, a phenomenon in which the material's microscopic structure interferes with light, producing a color it does not actually possess. Interesting.
Oh, Badman says that the guy with the glasses and beard is Crooked, probably butchering the name, Crooked Sonan.
Sonan, yeah.
And he is, in fact, Ital's and Nolan's father.
Oh, he is their father. Okay. I kind of thought maybe he was hallucinating or something,
Yeah, he doesn't look that much older, at least according as far as the artwork goes. But it's
anyway. Some of the continue that a little footnote at the bottom. Some familiar examples would be compact discs, soap bubbles, or pearls.
Oh, okay.
So very interesting. The particulate matter is a rainbow structural coloration. I have decided to call it Metaceres. So he thinks he's discovered something, and maybe he's going to get the Nobel Prize. Maybe. I injected that little editorial comment myself.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ital Sonnen, which is going to end up being Baron Muster, he's still recounting this stuff. He says, I was not a patient awaiting treatment. I was just a guinea pig. From the bottom of my heart, I felt fear and despair. And he said, my father, Kruk, metastasized especially quickly. Over 80% of his body was covered in mastomas until he could just barely survive with the help of a heart-lung machine. Then one day they finally engaged the ultimate form of surgery. And oh boy, I wonder what that is. I don't know if that's going to save him or not, because he's still got organics on him, doesn't he? So
somebody's been taking a leaf out of Nova's book.
Yes. Yeah, it's what's interesting about all of this is I guess one of the things that that Kishiro, he's looking forward in the future, thinking, that hey, they're going to have the technology to be able to do this. And maybe there's something about a person's brain or their face, or who knows what is so close to their brain. Maybe there's some chemicals that kind of inhibits these face tumors. Now I think Baron Muster does develop one of those things on his face too, doesn't he, Maxie? If I'm not mistaken. So I believe.
Yeah, I think it's over his right eye.
Yeah. So he does develop one. So I don't know how they figured. unless that's synthetic skin. But now he's got his,
Or it's just a test.
yeah,
They're testing to see if it does grow with it just reduced to this, maybe.
yeah. Okay, let's see what's a bad man say here. Well, let's see what Batman, the guy with the glasses and the beard, is crux on. That's Ital Nolan's father. Yeah, we said that already. Reflections on the CDs are an example of structural coloration. Yeah, that's right. If you ever look at a CD or a DVD and you kind of hold it in the light and you kind of, kind of move it around a little bit, you see different kind of colors. Well, the CD doesn't have the material in it that would say cause it to absorb blue light, as an example, or yellow light or something like that. But it does, it will, kind of project those colors, as you move it around. That's kind of interesting, Batman. Like I say, Batman, he's a professor of the elite army. So, and then, of course, Ital Sonnen, a.k.a. Baron Muster, or soon to be Baron Muster, father, sadly, even after exchanging all of his brain and recognizable part of his face for machinery, I could not stop the spread of the tumors. So I guess the tumors, I guess they will. Now, does his face, does that, that might be synthetic skin now that I think about it. No, I guess no. The doctor says, yeah, the mastomas will even grow on the human brain itself. So yeah, it looks like they're starting to form, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that would be a horrible way to go, I guess.
Yeah, I actually read about the mask tumors in the wiki, and yeah, they'll grow over every inch of organic tissue.
A good thing this is fiction, huh?
Mm-hmm.
My dear father, Dr. Crux Sonnen, beloved by all who knew him, came to his end in this ignoble fashion. So, yeah, that would be a horrible way to go, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Baron Muster, Ital Sonnen, he says, they also ran tests that seem meaningless and mocking. Look, it isn't that fascinating. Holy moly. We gave the extracted mastomas prosthetics to see if they could survive on their own. Boy, this doctor he's got, I wonder if he's Nova's ancestor or something, I mean,
It's the crazy eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it is the crazy eyes. Now, I want to warn everybody, I'm not going to spoil anything, but this is very meaningful when it comes to Alita, but that's for later date. That one's Mitya. I extracted him from you, and of course it's like he's like a baby, And then the other one's Aloysia, from your father. I was hoping they would develop intelligence, but their brains do not function properly. It's a shame. I should probably euthanize them tomorrow. Wow, this guy is something else. And then now Muster, of course, is still recalling all this stuff. The other expedition members died in awful ways, victims of atrocious. Pronounce that for me, Maxie. I don't know if I can do it. Atrocious, whatever, sadistic experience. Atrocious. Golly, Gary V. What's wrong with you? Before I knew it, I was the last survivor. I wonder what Nolan's doing. He thinks, now he's got these things on him too. I bet she got mastomas too and died just like all the rest. But was it really true? A horrible doubt took root in my weakened spirit. Interesting to hear Muster in this kind of frame of mind, isn't it? My father and our companions all died for the purpose of researching the mysterious mastomas. They all eventually accepted their fate and gave up on recovery, allowing that their suffering might lead to a cure. But what if the mastomas were nothing but a vicious lie? What if we've been merely led to believe in them through a combination of drugs and prosthetic special effects? So he's still thinking about this. He's still, you know, mulling over this. Then my father and my sister and our partners were all killed for nothing. So he's starting to get mad about it. I guess he's going to harbor some ill will to somebody. I burned with a righteous fury. So he indeed is. Now, of course, we switch back to the weird-eyed doctor here. Well, the hospital owner wants to meet you, Atal. Your conspiracy theory was quite well received, it seems. Goodbye. How about this? I've kind of experimented with you and, you know, had fun, and now I'm going to just leave you on your own and see you wouldn't want to be you, you know, that kind of thing. Goodbye. I doubt we'll ever meet again. It really is a shame to lose you this way, you know. And then, of course, he splits. And then there he is with all these masks, the faces or face tumors on him. Boy, he looks pitiful, doesn't he? I felt the intense anticipation of impending death, but my fury gave me strength and helped blind me to my demise. I awaited my confrontation with the devil. I guess he's going to hell. Who had put my father and my sister and friends through this cruel fate. Oh, ho, ho. People who are placed in desperate situations do dream up the most peculiar things, don't they? So I guess we got another winner for a doctor coming in here, you know. Oh, there's that I guess that woman who is the handmaid of Lady Kagura, Polisila Porwit, I guess is her name, and that's Lady Karula, I guess, on the left. But don't you find the concept of a fictional disease to be a rather stimulating idea? You know, she asked, you know, the Lady Kagura, I shall have to try that for fun sometime. And then, of course, Atal Sonnen says, Polisila Porwit, Princess Kagura. You know, so he's surprised to see them, I guess.
Shocked.
Yeah. To put, oh, holy crap. Now, there's a mental image I could have done without. I was aware that you were smitten with me, Atal Sonnen. So before you die, I shall tell you the truth. Your conspiracy theory is entertaining, but incorrect. The truth is much more simple. And that's that mental image I could have done without right there. Holy crap. Okay, this is getting a little much for me. Indeed, the truth was simple and cruel. The mastomas were real. Kagura developed one, and she initiated the test to find a cure for herself. You know, I guess that picture down there on the lower corner, she might be cute. She didn't have that one issue going there. Is Johann suspected the explosion at the Merli Hota, I hope I pronounced that right, ruins was meant to kill the expedition team and silence us. This woman, whose exterior was like that of a goddess, had been hiding her true character, which was terribly evil. And of course he says, ha ha ha, too bad you're shit out of luck finding a cure. Oh, I wish I had. I will tell you the truth of what I did. And then, of course, he's shocked even more. Hell, what? I don't want to. Oh, I didn't read all of it. Sorry about that. Let me get back to it. I begged for my life like a pitiful wretch. That's hard to believe that Muster would do that, wouldn't it? Of course, he's not Baron Muster yet. The instant I saw Kagura, my fury melted into nothing, and a single glance from her broke my self-respect. In her presence, I was nothing but a lowly maggot. So there's where the title comes in, A Confession of a Maggot. Ho, ho, ho. Sounds like Santa Claus. What a hideous sight you are. Well, look who's speaking. In fact, her mocking laughter even gave me a kind of perverse self-loathing thrill. Even coming face to face with her devilish true nature, I loved Princess Kagura. Well, I mean, except for that one little issue she's got there, I guess she would be kind of nice looking, wouldn't she? I suspect that I still do, even now. And then, of course, you know, she said, I have an interest in cultivating mandrakes. They are nightshade plants with poisonous roots. I'm sure you've heard of the legend of the mandrake. It is said to grow where a dying man's semen lands. That's an interesting thought. And when pulled from the earth, its scream causes madness to any who hear it. What are you going to do? This is what Atal says. And of course, the handmaiden says, like, you know, we're gonna have fun with you, mister. Oh yeah. There's no need for you to think about anything anymore. It's all Sonnen. Empty your mind. And then of course she puts some of this stuff on him, I guess. And of course he reacts to it by going, eek, you know. You will suffer tremendously. Boy, these are nice people. Spill your.
No, they're not.
Yeah, you will suffer tremendously. Spill your final seed into the planter and perish. Oh boy, man, these wouldn't be very good mistresses, would they? I mean, if you were inclined to in such a way. Her ladyship will take very good care of the pot after that. And then, of course, he's begging, no, don't kill me. My lady, aren't you going to witness his suffering for yourself? And of course, she turns, says, I no longer have any interest in him. So, okay, we've used him up. So, you know, just let him die, man. There's no problem, you know. And of course, he's laying on this gurney looking thing. And he, you know, wait, don't go. What humiliation. And then he's certainly recounting this. Now that I was nothing more than a maggot waiting to be stepped on, my final respite was to have my dying agony witnessed by my beloved princess. But she denied me even that. She had no interest in a maggot's love. To her, I was nothing more than a writhing object. Boy, she's a sweetheart too, isn't she? Later, I learned that the solution Policella had spread over my legs and feet was a hydrofluoric acid, a highly corrosive substance powerful enough to melt glass. Wow. And then, of course, several hours goes by, and then he's suffering sheer crippling agony. And then that's it. So we will pick this up next time. Boy, these people are sadistic.
The Marquis de Sade would be proud.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Yeah, these are some sadistic people, like the, you know, lady.
Oh, you notice turn back one.
Well, I'm sorry.
Turn back what page?
This one.
Yeah, if you the top panel, if you look at the in the background.
Oh yeah, the heads of other guys that did this too. Yeah.
So yeah, apparently it's a hobby with her.
Yeah, she's a real sweetheart, isn't she? I mean,
I can think of other words to use, but
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I was being facetious.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I you know, that's a bit much for me there, you know. So anyway, yeah, she'd be cute, you know. I mean, if it wasn't for this.
I don't know. I think her attitude kind of kills it for me.
Yeah. I was talking about the physical aspect here. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near her, you know. Oh man. So he thinks he's I guess I don't know what he thinks at this point.
Yeah, Kishiro doesn't really pull many punches, does he?
No, he does not.
Hmm.
He's pretty. Looks like he's pretty upset. And he does well. We know we're not going to spoil this, but he does survive. You know, I mean.
Oh yeah, because he's actually recounting his past. So
Yeah, that's right. I thought mandrakes caused death in anyone who heard their cry.
it may depend on which myth you're looking at, because there could be more than one, folklore type myth that grew up around them.
Yeah. Well, this guy right here is certainly a lover of humanity, isn't he?
Yeah, Dr. Crazy Eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think if they ever did a Mars Chronicles, you know, as a series, and if they were going to do this for kids, they would have to clean this up. I mean, there's no way this, you know.
Mm. Oh yeah, I did a quick search. Apparently, the mythology around mandrakes will change from region to region.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Muster, the tall son, he lives a lot longer after this. So I wonder. I guess we're going to find out what it is in his DNA or his, you know, constitution or whatever enables him to, you know, kind of survive for such a long time. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like chemotherapy wouldn't take care of this.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Could be. It's just sheer willpower and spite that keeps him going.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Confession of a Maggot.
Mm-hmm.
He turns, you can see, you know, now looking at him as an individual, let's say he was a real person. And, you know, I guess AKA says this. It's no wonder he turned. This is about what I was going to bring up here, AKA. No wonder Muster turned into such an evil person after going through so much suffering at the hands of evil people. Yeah, you kind of can understand, right? Because he's, you remember, there was a chapter early on here we did several months ago where he had gone to this, I guess it was like a meeting of all these, you know, leaders or something like that in this one. I don't know if it was at Sidonia, I don't remember, but you remember he poisoned all of them, you know. So you know, he was pretty, at that point he was pretty evil, but you can see why he is what he is, you know, as Baron Muster. You know, it's going to be interesting to see, because I read the Mars Chronicles, but I don't remember what happens after this. You know, we'll see. You know, does he take revenge out on Lady Kagura? You know, or Polisella Porwit? You know, maybe he gets even with him. You know,
I would imagine if he gets the chance to, he's going to. But
yeah,
we'll see if he gets the chance or not.
Yeah. So yeah, he's you can see why he is. And you know, Kishiro's a master at this, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, he takes people, you know, these fictional characters, and he puts them through so much shit, and this is why they turn out the way they do. You know, I guess.
Yeah.
The same as like even with Zapan, you know, in the original manga, you know, he puts him through some shit. You know, I mean, and then of course, you know, when he sees Alita on the TV, he freaks out. I mean, he goes nuts. You know, he goes nucking futs, as we would say.
Yep.
You know, it accidentally, you know, kills the love of his life, and then of course that really sets him off. He blames Alita for it. You know, so.
Yeah, with Japan, though, I think some of that at least is self-inflicted suffering.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did it to himself. But in this case, you know, I guess Atal Sonnen or Baron Muster, you know, you can see why he turned out the way he did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I guess he's not going to get a chance to write that masterpiece, is he?
Mm-mm.
Well, he's itching, and that's why he's itching right there.
Yep.
Now, when y'all go to bed at night out there in the chat, if you start itching, don't worry. This is fictitious.
Theoretically.
Just have your back scratcher ready.
Yep.
Yeah, these are mental images that, God almighty, Kashiro, Jesus.
Fitting for Halloween.
Yes, very fitting for Halloween.
I feel the term nightmare fuel is apt here.
Yes, very much so.
Well, I have a confession to make. When I see stuff like this, that you might give people nightmares, I don't have nightmares anymore. If I have a dream and something like this happens, I'll have, a lot of times I'll have what's called a lucid dream, you know? And this is going to sound funny to y'all, but when I have that kind of dream, I have superhuman strength. So I can remember fighting an Indian, Eastern Indian, not American Indian, Eastern Indian demon in a dream one time. The demon's called a Rakshasa, you know, and basically what it does is a shapeshifter, and it changes its shape into somebody you know or love or something like that. When it gets close to you, it kills you and eats you, you know. So that's wild. So I had one of those in my dream, and you know, I grabbed him around the neck and slammed him on the ground type thing.
Oh, Badman says that Muster already got revenge on Placella Porwit in Volume 3.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's I think I vaguely remember that. But
yeah, I do remember that, because he's recounting that here, isn't he? So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's recounting his earlier meeting with them.
Yeah. I don't remember though. What about Lady Kagura? I think did she get killed or something? I can't remember. Badman. I should remember it. I mean, I have read it, but I don't remember it. So we need to ask the professor of the Alita Army if Lady Kagura is still around.
I think she is.
I think she is too. But
I think she shows up later on.
Yeah, there's some sites that would be a hell of a nursery, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Batman says no. We'll meet Lady Kagura in later chapters. So
yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, and we can do without this guy too. He's
yep.
Evil Doctor. So, you know, I guess Etan Sonnen was exposed to this, you know, psychotic doctor, and then of course Lady Kagura and Porcella Porwit, you know, kind of pushed him over the edge, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess, you know, here's the interesting thing. If Lady Kagura had stuck around and watched him suffer like that, seems like that would be right up her alley, you know. He might have just gave up, said, well, at least the woman I love, you know, even though it's unrequited, at least, you know, I can die happy or something like that, maybe, you know. But, you know, she denied him that, so that probably made him even more bitter, and you know, he's able to survive just by sheer force of will, you know. Okay, guys, any thoughts?
Not the most family friendly of chapters.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
I will say, sadistic people in positions of power seems to be a running theme sort of in Kashiro's stories.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anybody except for, I think, the one princess with the teddy bear that Alita meets during the
Limera.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
Limera.
think she's the only one we meet who isn't some kind of a sadistic monster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where that I guess replicant, or not a replicant, or yeah, it would be a replicant, I guess they gave the replicant a berserker body or something, or a Magnus body, tried to kill her, and they blamed it on Alita because, of course, it would make sense because it looks like Alita, you know, or Yoko, I guess is who it was. So, and of course, you know, that replicant didn't kill Princess Limera. So,
Yep.
yeah, I agree, bad man. This is Disney's not going to let something like this get in there. This is pretty dark.
Oh yeah, this is at least R-rated stuff.
At very least, yeah. So now they'd have to make a huge change. You know, if they were going to do a series of Mars Chronicles, they'd just make it more kid friendly. And you know, here's this cute little girl named Yoko, you know, and her adopted sister Erica, and they're facing all these trials and tribulations on Mars, and just make it a cute thing, you know, and not put all this dark, you know, story into it.
Yeah, they'd have to lighten it up a bit.
Yes. Okay. Any other thoughts about this, guys?
Well, usually when I read this bit, I read it quickly and keep moving.
Yes.
Get past the goopy.
Well, bad man, to your point, I think if it was, you know, those of us that are Alita fans that really want to see her actual backstory and stuff like this, would we watch it? I don't know. But kids, I think, that are not familiar with Alita, you know, and they see cute little girl and, you know, their cute little sister, and they're going around and doing stuff on Mars, and they're having fun, and they're riding in that van with that doctor, and they're just having fun. I think kids would watch it. You know, I don't think we would. Yeah.
Well, there's also Disney-fied, and then there's the PG-13 treatment that the script got from Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. Now that we would watch that. Yeah, we certainly would, you know. Where do kids have fun on Mars? Well, you know, if there's an Elton John song about that, you know, Rocket Man, Mars ain't the place to raise your kids. Yeah. Where do kids have fun on Mars? I don't know. Maybe Valles Marineris, maybe, or Olympus Mons, or one of those places. Let's see what else. Originally in that room, they were playing a Ouija board. Yeah. Okay. Well, you could play Ouija board on Mars, but you could play it on Earth too. So, okay. Well, I guess we hit this one pretty hard, didn't we? I guess it's going to be a short stream, but that's all right. Yeah. By the way, there's not going to be a after party Stammtisch today because I get ready for the trick or treaters. You know, they're going to be here. Last year we had a bunch of them. And
busy time of the month.
Yeah, this year it's going to be worse because it's on Friday night, so they don't have to go to school the next day and study and stuff like that. You know.
Yep.
So, any other topics, guys?
Well, nothing comes to mind here.
How about you, Maxie?
No, I'm good.
Well, I can think of one more topic.
Can you?
We want our sequels, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's so much given. I don't even think about it.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's right. You know, it's
As they say, goes without saying.
You were talking about an Erica topic, Creaky? Yeah, I guess so. Erica's kind of evil, you know. I mean, of course, that's another character, isn't it? That, you know, Kashiro put that little girl through so much shit. And of course, that turned her into who she is. And she killed her parents and burned the house down. Wow. So, yeah, I guess I was AKA. I guess I was kind of alluding to Erica there, you know, certainly. Okay, did we miss anything, you guys?
No, certainly can't think of anything.
Well, you can sure see from that center panel there that Alita does love her Uncle Creek, and that's because he wants a sequel. I don't want just a sequel. I want sequels. I want a bunch of sequels.
Oh, AKA says, I think we were going to have a stream where we discuss Erica's possible future.
Oh, that is a great idea, AKA. I'm going to file that away. Or Maxie, Maxie's got topics all the way out to infinity almost, so maybe
No, it's not that far. God.
but it's a long way out, you know. So maybe we'll come up with something there on that one, you know, Erica's possible future. You know, we know a little bit about Erica here in that, you know, if you remember, there's that one, you know, chapter we had a while back where Erica and Alita fight each other at that monument because Erica had the monument erected just so, you know, to attract Alita so she could, I guess, try to kill her, I guess, or something like that. And of course they fight, and that's one where Alita, you know, her arm got taken off, but then she uses it as a weapon against
That's
her.
the start of the Mars Chronicles, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, or pretty close to the front anyway. Yeah. So yeah, but that would be interesting, you know, because we know a little bit about her future because she becomes a necro soldier because Alita actually kills her, you know, at one point, and then as they meet later on toward, I think, chapter 9 or something like that in Mars.
I was never entirely clear on why the two of them had that fight to the death. Was it some part of their training or something, or was it just some kind of...
I don't remember. All I know is that Alita had killed her, and they made Erica a necro soldier, so she's kind of like the living dead, I guess, a zombie or something, although she's not a zombie. They just brought her back to life, I guess. So, which they seem to have the technology to do that in the 22nd century. So, Halloween hadn't been preempted by the World Series. I don't think the kids that are going to come to my house for candy are going to think about that. So anyway. Yeah, that's right.
I was actually referring to the fight where Alita or Yoko kills Erica when the two of them are still part of the Künstler training program.
Yeah, that was before the Zot, certainly. But or they fight each other after the Zot. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is around the monument that you were you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's the one where Alita tells Erica she's a necro soldier, and Erica kind of shocks her, you know, and you know, and I think Alita wants to save her, or kind of, you know, not make amends, but whatever it is she wants to do, you know. So poor Erica when she finds out she's a necro soldier, yeah. And then, of course, I guess that guy, she said, "You didn't tell me I was a necro soldier," or something to that effect. And he said, "What difference does it make?" or something to that effect. You know, you're alive, aren't you? Or whatever, you know, something like that.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Well, next week I do have a topic. And next week we're going to, you guys want to check in on this one. We're going to do kind of like a stream on, you know, how Alita's heart, you know, how the antimatter microreactor heart, who created that heart and how. Now we're going to develop like a little bit of a fan fiction type thing around that. And I've already got a character name for it named Dr. Varel. You know, he's one of Nova's contemporaries, and they have a kind of a competition going each other, and they're
sort of a professional rivalry.
Yeah, and even more than that, it gets personal, I think, because Nova doesn't like the fact that he's being challenged, you know, I guess. So, but what we do is we'll put this up there, and I got some notes. I wouldn't call it a treatment, but we got notes. And if you folks want to, you know, you can be in the chat, or you can come on the stream, and we can, you know, we'll just talk this thing through and maybe come up with maybe somewhat of a story, you know, about this guy. And this particular guy, Dr. Varel, he's got, you know, he's evicted from Zalem, and he's smuggled off of Earth, you know, by agents, and he gets to Mars, and he basically has a proposal for the military about how to make this antimatter microreactor heart, and they take him up on it, and they build him a lab on the moon Phobos, and he goes up on Phobos and starts doing his research. So, you know, that's kind of the setup for it anyway. What is this right here? AKA. So between time Yoko goes missing, when she gets on Mars again, wonder what Erica's doing in the meantime. Just dead? No, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, AKA is referring to a previous post by Badman up there. He's still of the opinion that Erica died in 387 when Grunthal was destroyed, and Yoko went missing in 386.
Ah. Yeah, but was she dead all that time? I don't know.
I seem to remember some kind of a panel in one of the issues where Erica is like in pieces on the ground, sort of really badly beaten.
Yeah.
And she's vowing to kill Yoko.
Yeah.
Right before Yoko kills her. I could be imagining it though. I'm not entirely certain.
Well, I guess we keep reading. We're going to find out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, join us for that. That'll be next Friday. Yeah, because my competition's on Saturday, so I'll still do the stream, you know. So now
good
tomorrow,
luck with that, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Good luck with that, by the way.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this, even though it's just a local. It's not a national competition or anything like that. So it's a local competition, but I'm excited about it because my deadlift is really coming along. You know, it's you know, I'm thinking I'm going to do pretty well on the deadlift, you know. So anyway, that's another story. And tomorrow on Radio Chaos, so we got another manga reading. So Maxie, you want to talk about this?
Well, you know, it's kind of rinse and repeat, except with a different section of the story. But of course, we're getting very close to the end of the first manga series, so things are coming to a head, and we've just seen the last ride of Den, and now we're going to see what's going to happen between Alita and Nova. Although Nova's had his head cut off, so you'd think that would be the end of him, but wait, there's more.
Yep.
He's like a bad penny. He keeps coming back.
He has survivability of a cockroach.
And you know what, Maxie? When you read that particular chapter, the Elite Army is going to be so shocked if they haven't read the manga. You're probably going to have to read the first chapter of The Last Order, just so to soothe their nerves a little bit.
Well, I plan to continue on and do the non-canon ending, and then move to Last Order. Although we still have Holy Night to do in there somewhere as well.
Yeah.
We're going to do that at Christmas, aren't we?
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
There you go.
I should do that. Yeah.
What? I thought you had that already on the sign-up sheet.
No, but it sounds like a good idea, so I might borrow it.
Okay. Yeah, fine, you know. Okay. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to read the manga again because, you know, I guess
there's a manga?
Is there? Holy shit, I didn't know there was a manga. God almighty, yeah.
What a shock.
We never read the manga. What the hell? So, yeah. But tomorrow, we love these manga readings. Even though we don't have a manga and we don't know what they are, we love reading them.
Yeah.
Oh, God almighty. So, so anyway, yeah, join us tomorrow. We're going to have fun with this. And then, of course, next weekend, you know, it'll be a recording, you know, because it won't be available on Saturday. So Maxie and Angelus and I, and Lee, should we get Lee in there too, Maxie?
Yeah.
You know, do a recording early next week. It'll probably have to be Monday, I think, because, you know, I got 2 more training sessions before the competition. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to miss them. you know, so, you know, we'll have to maybe do it on Monday or something like that, but we can coordinate all that stuff. So, okay, well, join us. We'll have fun on this one. And there's our queen right there. And of course, she is #1 in the Creeks book in terms of being an actor, because we are really, really fortunate that they picked her to be Alita, because she just really knocked it out of the park. And I hope I'm not gushing too much about her, but she's definitely she's really good. And I think, dare I say, I think there's a good chance we maybe have an Oscar in our future here in the Elite Army. So, you know, anyway, after seeing her in Play Dirty, that was she does a great job in that movie as well. You know, I mean, she's just all around a good actor, you know. And I want to give a shout out to Eldamont and Jesse Fisher, because they brought Screwhead to life. And what I want to see is Alita and Screwhead team up, because as Elle said in the interview when we did the interview with her, is that you know, she's all pissed off. You know, she's been hoodwinked, I guess is the word you could use, and you know, deceived and all that stuff. And she's mad, and she goes to Alita and makes up and says, "Hey, girl, I'm with you. Let's burn it all down." You know, I think is what the term she used. So that would be cool. And it'd be neat to see both of them taking on Joshagon. You know, that would be kind of neat, you know.
Yep.
And you know, one thing I was thinking about too, Maxie, I know how you like twists in a movie, is that maybe there's a couple of twists you can put in it, but maybe Screwhead appears to betray Alita when they're competing, and then it switches back or something. There's a lot of ways you can go with that. So, you know, that would be kind of neat.
Sure.
But, and of course, Jessie, as Elle said, Jessie's the most badass stunt woman she ever worked with, rather. And that is really high praise right there. So, but we want all three of these ladies, you know, we want them in that sequel. You hear that, Disney? Damn it, give us a sequel. And we are the Elite Army. We are the most friendly fandom on the entire internet. That's us. You know, we're Alita advocates. We're Rosa advocates as well. We support Alita and Rosa Salazar passionately and positively. And we are here to stay. We're not going anywhere. And I swear to God, if I'm 99 years old, of course I use the number 99. And if we don't have a sequel yet, which I know we will have before then, but I'll still be doing this. You know, I'll still be doing streams, and I'll, you know, be doing videos and stuff like that. So, any thoughts about this, about the Elite Army there, Maxie or Lee?
No, nothing I don't agree with that you haven't already said.
Very much.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that just leaves us one more thing after I get through this. Why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army and our queen. We're all here for our girl, the Alita Army, and our queen. And so what that means is we only got one thing left to do. And that would be, on my count of 3, the call to action. 1, 2, 3.
Fill those signals, baby.
So anyway, we will see you next week on the Alita live stream, and we will see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
No cause is lost, if there is but one fool left to fight for it.